We just had there was a huge student walkout on Friday for student Metro card cuts, right? The mayor is saying starting next year, right? And so is the state. They're saying, you know what, students can pay for their own Metro cards. You know, we got a huge budget crisis, and we're going to take it out on students. Not only are we going to cut teachers, right? We're going to cut student Metro cards. If they want to go to school, they'll figure out how to pay for it, right? That's not the way to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know, those are the people that we elected to represent us making those decisions, right? The people who are supposed to be representing us, right? And they're not. And the only way to make sure that we save student Metro cards, or that we save teachers from being cut, is by going out and making noise and applying pressure on the people who have the power to give us what we want, right? And unless we do that, they're gonna feel like they can do whatever they want, right? Unless we apply that pressure, and you know, applying that pressure shows them that, you know, we're not gonna like elect you and then like completely ignore you and you do what you want. Applying that pressure shows them that, you know, just because you're in office doesn't mean you're in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like you are a representative, but if you're not representing us, we're gonna make sure that we represent ourselves.
Because the way I see it now, I know that people that you talk to might see it very differently. The way I see it now is that I think that the peace process, which which began in I suppose the early 1990s and so forth, and people talk about it now. They talk about it. Sort of mainstream historians and commentators talk about it in a way that's as if there arose sort of these rather far-seeing people who decided that they had to get rid of violence and who led their communities away from violence, sort of by taking risks and all the rest of it, primarily Jerry Adams, but also David Irvin and so on the other side. You know, they led these warlike communities with difficulty and all that there, and this was a very courageous thing to do, which in a sense it was, but I think that eventually history will record it differently. I think that history will record it that what was happening in those scenarios was that political leaders of republicanism and loyalism were beginning to adapt to the real thinking of their own communities, that it was pressure from below which was creating this momentum towards peace, and not people from above pleading and making moral arguments to people.
Well, my background that I'd explained to you is one that needed more to be done for me, my family, and my people to get a better life. We just had to have individuals making sacrifices. It wasn't difficult for me to make. It wasn't difficult at all. It was so logical for me to do. And there were hundreds of thousands of others who saw the logic in being part of the liberation struggle. And don't be deceived to believe that those who remained behind and fought the struggle from within the trade union movement, within youth organizations, within some of the churches and religious groups that existed, don't be deceived to believe that they didn't do enough. Apartheid was crushed because the people of South Africa from all angles came together to make it not work. What we did in exile was to organize militant action, was to organize international action to make apartheid unworkable. The people inside South Africa, by God, they did so much. They did so much to make it ungovernable. And a lot of them made bigger sacrifices than we did to take us to where we are today.